Jeffrey says he can't sleep without fapping first.
It's good for you. Fapping reduces your chance of prostate cancer and it increases your testosterone, and if you watch porn it increases your 1 rep max in the gym.
But Jeffrey doesn't realize that he's missing out on the greatest nofap benefit of all. He doesn't realize just how much fapping and watching porn affects his self-image. And because of that, Jeffrey never grows. Okay, gather around boys, I'm gonna be completely honest and unfiltered of my recent story of being down bad. I've been on Nofap for like 7 years, and of course I struggled at first. For the first few years I was relapsing every few days. I recently downloaded Tinder and Bumble and started using Instagram more to speak to girls, and it put me in this very obsessed, addictive state where I was constantly going from Tinder, messaging every girl, to Bumble, messaging every girl, to Instagram, messaging every girl, to Tinder, messaging every other girl. I started spending more than an hour per day literally just messaging girls, and I was getting horny. And I was like this for a solid 1 or 2 weeks. I controlled that sexual urge, put it into my work, tried to stay productive. I stayed on Nofap, but eventually the urge got very strong, to the point that now I was starting to spend more than 2 to 3 hours per day literally just being obsessed about girls. I had the idea that maybe it would go better with these girls if I was in more of a sexual mood, so I start getting an erection whilst messaging them. Bruh. And one thing leads to another, and I stumble onto 4chan, and before I know it I'm in the exact same situation and environment that I used to be in when I used to be a proper fapper. I'm literally on like the porn videos of 4chan where people have like edited them together with like music videos and it's on beat and you're supposed to stroke your dick on beat. I was fucking down bad. The one thing I'm proud of is that I didn't relapse, I didn't even bust a nut or anything, but this made me really realize the greatest benefit of Nofap that I haven't actually spoke about on my channel before. Adonis. Adonis has been on Nofap for so long that his streak is in Roman numerals. He knows the consequences of fapping and watching porn, and Adonis looks around confused at the addictions of the modern man. He wonders why they don't just discipline themselves to retain their sexual urge and put it into their work. But there is a small group of men that Adonis notices. This group of men are saying, "F you to normal society. We don't want to fap anymore. We're fasting. We don't want your sugar." Adonis smiles. He looks like he's impressed. For the sake of growth, I like to admit when I take L's. So as I said a few weeks ago, I was down bad. I literally watched porn for the first time in about 1.5 years. And I realized a simple yet astronomical benefit of being on Nofap and not watching porn. It stops you from feeling like a loser. Now, it might just be me, but I think you might be able to relate to this. When I was actually watching like the porn videos, it was like my mind was generating such negative thoughts. It was constantly questioning me. What are you doing? You know about Nofap, you know about not watching porn, you know how it fucks up your brain. You're literally watching the woman that you want get fucked by a different guy. You're acting like a cuck right now. It made me feel like and I'm so glad that it did. When you take a huge step back from watching porn and masturbating, you stop getting those negative thoughts and you start to feel like the man. But think about the self-image of the average guy on the street who still faps. He's automatically going to feel like a loser, like a cuck, like a beta male. Oh, Hamza, beta males and alpha males don't exist. Oh, shut up, bro. Alpha males don't exist. Why you watched that cringy video by BuzzFeed or so? Alpha males don't exist. Shut the up, bro. Dumbass. A lot of people say using the term beta and alpha is cringe. I don't give a f. That explains exactly what's going on here. If there is one iconic act of the beta male, is that he masturbates whilst watching the alpha f. Which one do you want to be? You might not be there yet, but at least emulating the behavior of the alpha, of like the best man, the ultimate man, Adonis, will get you closer. And so I'll totally admit and say that I was wrong, because for the past while, I've been saying that the benefits of Nofap aren't as big as most people make them out to be. I still somewhat agree with that, but I've realized now that I was blinded by the ignorance of having made so much progress that I stopped being able to relate to the guys who are struggling with porn and masturbation. Having now dipped back into that lifestyle just for like an hour or so, I realized how bad it is for you. The short moments of pleasure are not worth the sacrifice to your self-image. And that goes with every instant gratification activity. Video games, junk food, drugs, porn and masturbation. Just always ask yourself this one question. Is your future self proud of the action that you're taking today? If he's not, if your future self is looking back and he's cringing at your actions and he's thinking, why the hell is this guy still fapping? Why is he still playing video games? Why is he coping and saying that he plays 1 hour a day when actually he plays more like 4? Just do things for your future self. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.